Welcome to the show that celebrates our city, its people, and the stories that bring us together.
From local businesses to community events, hidden gems to big ideas. If it's happening in Calgary, you'll find it here.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Kim.
And this is Wake Up Calgary. Calgary is a place of confluence where the Bow and the Elbow rivers meet, a place where the opportunities naturally come together. On Wake Up Calgary, we embrace the spirit of connection. We honor and acknowledge the land in which we work, live, and share stories, which is Treaty 7 territory. This is traditional homeland of the First Nations and Métis people. Today, we are part of this treaty land, and we are grateful for all it has to offer.
Good morning, Calgary. You're waking up with us here on Wake Up Calgary. I'm Kim, and we have a packed show today touching on everything from cutting edge of AI to crucial cyber protection and Calgary's vibrant food scene. We begin today with Rebecca Bultsma, a leading expert on AI. She's here today to chat on AI strategies and best practices, helping us navigate the exciting yet critical considerations that come with artificial intelligence rapid evolution in our world. Then prepare for vital insights. We're welcoming Stephen Nichols from Acronis and Vince Fung from Expera to tackle cyber truths. They'll share what Canadian businesses need to know right now about the fastest growing crime in the world, cybercrime. Covering threats like ransomware and phishing and how to truly protect your digital assets. Their expert advice is essential for everyone. And to round out our morning, we're taking a delicious journey into Calgary's food scene with Linda from Culinaire Magazine, showcasing the latest local culinary trends. It's a show designed to inform, empower, and inspire. Stay with us. You don't want to miss a moment. Welcome, Rebecca, to the show. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. Your studio is beautiful, and it's so great to meet you.
The studio in the sky.
Yes.
Great views, lots to do, and kind of in the heart of everything. But
it's beautiful. Thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you were literally my first pick when I wanted to talk about, I think, best practices and really how we navigate moving forward with an AI future is so critical. Now, in a rapidly changing world, for those who are just starting to understand its implications, what are the most fundamental aspects of AI that individuals and businesses should grasp before they start going at it?
I think a lot of people have already experimented a little bit, either individually or within their business, with some of this new generative AI that's kind of exploded onto the scene over the last couple of years. But I think there is a few really important things for people to know. I think as you're using it, it's important to recognize that it can do a lot more than just write stuff for you. That's probably the most boring way to use it. It's great for strategy and helping you make plans for your business and think ahead and understand customers and really dive deep, but also not using it necessarily as a Google or an information source. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, has kind of talked about how people who are the Gen X boomer age, which is a lot of business owners, tend to use generative AI like a Google. And the risk in that is because it's creative and it's generating new things, it makes stuff up a lot. And so it's not necessarily a reliable information source, but it's a great brainstorm partner and a thought partner to help you think beyond maybe you would have been stalled last time, to help you vision bigger and think about more strategy and use it in ways that can really benefit your business if you use it properly. I think that's a really important thing for people to know.
Kind of like a prompt within a prompt?
Yeah,
exactly. Prompting you to think bigger, better, and maybe even more concise, getting your thoughts in a row.
Exactly, or pushing you beyond your own boundaries. Or the other thing that generative AI is really great at is spotting trends. So you can give it tons and tons of market research or the history of 10 years of your social media accounts, and it can quickly identify trends and things that you might not have recognized in all of that data that you can then use to your advantage to make your business even better.
From your perspective, and you do a lot of speaking on this, you are going to be one of the first run of individuals with degrees within this space of AI. What is your perspective on primary concerns associated to AI?
There's a ton, and in my research at the University of Edinburgh, specifically around AI ethics, we think a lot about risk, but also what a time to be alive. There was a study done, I think it was at MIT a couple of years ago, where they really found out that people don't like AI-generated content. They want to feel like their content was written by a human. And so really making sure that your voice and your authenticity and your brand voice still come through, because people immediately are turned off if they think AI wrote your copy. So that's a risk, right? That reputational damage or that brand trust with your customer or your audience, there's a risk in over-relying on AI to override your brand voice and putting out potential bad information. And then, of course, there's a lot of societal risks, right? We hear about this idea of cognitive offloading, that idea that we just start having the AI think for us too much, that we forget how to do it for ourselves. And that's why I really encourage you using it as a strategic thought partner to help you think bigger instead of doing things for you, using it to work with you to be even better, but not replacing the work that you're already doing.
So when we look at ethical AI and responsible AI, I mean, basically the genie's out of the bottle, right? What do these concepts mean, and how can we at an individual level or a small business be part of that ethical or responsible use of AI?
It's such a great question. And it's tricky because even ethics as a phrase, we can't agree as a society what that means. What I think is ethical practice might not agree with what you think is ethical. And so it's abstract as it is. And I like to think of it on 3 different levels. I think about like individual responsible use of the technology, organizational responsible use, and then kind of as a society, what responsibilities do we have? And those are all pretty loaded, but I think individually, we have an obligation to think critically about the outputs we get from AI. For example, generative AI was trained on everything on the internet, and it has a lot of really bad parts of our history in its data set. And because it's generating content based on statistical averages, it will throw things in that are stereotypes that are no longer acceptable in our society.
Correct.
About specific groups of people, women, or specific cultures that are just not appropriate. And if we're not thinking critically about the outputs, we risk perpetuating those stereotypes or really harming people. And so the whole idea of ethics, in my mind, is to use AI in a way that doesn't harm people and perpetuates good. And so if on an individual level, we're thinking about using it critically and using it in ways that we can help people. And that means maybe, you know, instead of getting rid of people off your staff and replacing them with AI, training them to think bigger and deeper and growing your business with AI.
Exactly. And I totally agree with you on that. I'm going to go so off subject here. What can we do differently when we look at policies and management with AI that we did not implement with the emergence of social products? Because you know what? Send me the hate mail, folks. I don't care. I believe that the core destruction or disillusionment of our society started with the evolution of Facebook. How can we take a gift, because AI, if you like it, love it, or leave it. I know Justine Bateman hates it, and I'm probably going to get sued over that, but she was quoted hating it and said AI doesn't belong in Hollywood because you can fight this all you want. I am the mother of a dyslexic daughter, and AI has enabled so many opportunities. My husband is dyslexic, and he's putting out great articles. By the way, those articles take him 3 and 4 days to work on with AI as a companion, whereas he would have never written them before.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're getting 65 years of insight and such that would not have been there without AI. What can we do different? What should we be asking at a governance level or a social level to ensure that this tool is not dividing us but bringing us together?
You know, you're totally right about social media, and that is something we don't want to replicate, but it's kind of going that direction because the power of these tools lies in the hands of, 5 or 6 very, very powerful people and companies. I think in terms of responsible AI, I like to think of it a little bit kind of like gun control. And I don't know if that's something we want to talk about here, but when you think about gun control, the debate is, an individual responsibility? Is it the gun companies? Is it the government's job to regulate it? Whose job is it to keep people safe? And I think that's what we missed in social media. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a little bit everybody's job, but I do think we need some laws and regulation around this. But I think as business owners, we have to be responsible too in how we deploy it, and we don't deploy it at the expense of harming people, whether laying them off, whether forbidding them from using it, because we're also not helping them develop marketable skills. And I think we need to be very, very conscious about how we think about it, how we talk about it, and making sure that it doesn't come, and this is a huge risk, at the expense of human relationships. Because the number one way people are using generative AI right now is for companionship and as therapists. And because it's a technology that's so unpredictable, there's a real risk that we, even more so than the social media era, start sacrificing human connection and relationships. And we need to be very, very aware of that, because we also don't know what they're telling people, what they're saying, what they're trained on, and what the long-term impacts are going to be, which we're living those now with social media.
Yeah, 25% of all North Americans do not know who lives next door.
You know, I actually have been writing about this a little bit, this idea of community, the word community. It used to be 20 years ago, your community was your neighborhood. And the people who live next door to you might be different from you, might believe differently, might look differently, but you were still part of a community that existed with a lot of diversity. Today, that word has been appropriated by the internet, and you join a community of all like-minded people who are like you, and if you don't like it, you leave.
Yeah.
And
so our tolerance,
Exactly.
And I think our information
Yes.
becomes very limited. Rebecca, this is amazing, and thank you for taking time. I know you're super busy. You travel around a lot and speak to a lot of people in regards to this. And as you said, it's ever changing. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing you're researching a few hours every day, and along with everything else you're doing. And you took time to come here for Wake Up Calgary. I appreciate it.
Always for you, Kim. Anything.
So before we move on to our next segment, be sure to check out at WakeUpCalgary.ca our rapid fire. But we'll be right back after this break for the essential cyber protection and insights with Vince and Stephen. And check out Rebecca's site too. RebeccaBultsma.com will have all our information in the show notes. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Kim.
Looking for a getaway close to home? Discover Azurich Estate Hotel, a one-of-a-kind resort nestled in the foothills. Whether you're enjoying a weekend escape, a luxury spa day at Flourish, the Live Well Spa, or celebrating a special occasion, Azurich offers breathtaking views, exceptional dining, and the perfect place to recharge. Experience this beautiful boutique luxury just 15 minutes west of the city. Visit azurichhotel.com to plan your next stay.
Okay, so you sit down at your desk, your day is packed, the clients are calling, and you can't access anything. Seriously, your entire business is down. And an alert pops up, and now it's demanding money. This happens. Just recently, a small financial services firm in North York lived that exact nightmare. Their servers encrypted, their business put on an indefinite pause, and vital client data potentially was exposed. Now, imagine that. It's just a 6-person operation, right? Really? Does this happen? But suddenly they're paralyzed. Their clients are left in limbo, wondering about their sensitive financial information. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? If your business got hit by ransomware today, how long would it take you to recover? And at what cost? Because let's be blunt, cybercrime isn't just hypothetical anymore. It is the fastest growing threat in the world. It is no longer a question if you'll be targeted, but when. It's time to wake up, Calgary. And to help us navigate these crucial cyber truths for the Canadian businesses, we are thrilled to be joined by 2 incredible experts. Stephen Nichols from Acronis and Vince Fung with Expera right here in Calgary. So gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, awesome. Looking forward to it.
I'm excited about this. Stephen, Vince, let's start with the state of cybersecurity in Canada. What are the most pressing cyber threats that you're seeing specifically targeting Canadian businesses, because I know that each country has specific issues. And what trends are you observing in the field, particularly with the rise of ransomware, phishing, and by the way, it's not phishing, it's phishing, and AI-driven attacks. AI's got me really fascinated. So who wants to start? This is a free-for-all.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think one of the biggest challenges is a lot of smaller businesses, right? So they've thought they've been immune for a long time to the type of attacks because they used to be very expensive to carry out, right? It was nation state level. But it's now ransomware as a service is a thing. So on the dark web, you can actually get all the tools and pieces you need to start a malware, ransomware business. Meaning that the analogy I use is, imagine your business is kind of like a car that's parked on the road. And somebody's just walking down the street and they're pulling on car door handles. They don't care if it's a Lexus or if it's an old Toyota. They're just looking for the unlocked car. And if you're not properly protected, like the larger companies have been investing for a long time, as a small business, you're now becoming not just vulnerable, but you're becoming a target.
Yeah, and you've nailed it when you said that cyber attacks are the biggest threat that businesses face. If you actually looked at the cost of cyber crime industry, it would actually be the third largest economy in the world. So it would be the United States, China, and then normally the third economy would be Germany. But if you added up the total costs, it would actually unseat Germany as the third largest economy in the world. So there's a ton of money to be made by the threat actors in the cybercrime space.
One fact that just blows me away is that for small businesses in particular, if they are offline for 3 days from a cyber attack, statistically there's a 50% chance they'll be out of business in 6 months. And the reason for that is reputational damage.
Yes.
It's the fact that if someone is going to, contact you or tries to reach out, you're not available, they're going to find something else. They probably aren't going to go back.
Yep.
And as a result, that loss in revenue, not only that, but most small businesses are living hand to mouth, right?
Lean.
They don't have months and months of, to be able to support not having, that exact predictable revenue.
Yeah, I think most small businesses are running like if they have a profit margin, they're running, it's like 15%. Right? Yep. And that you'd have to have, 15 months saved up, which we know stuff breaks, things move. Yep. You have to invest. That's not going to happen. Now, we've talked about, in the opening, we talked about that wake-up call. What are wake-up call moments, right? Can you share any impactful or relatable stories that you've come across that the Canadian companies have faced that have been, they say, either I'm a inspiring story or a cautionary tale, and sometimes you get both from a single. Can you share, are you open to share a couple stories that maybe we can relate to, or?
Yeah, I actually, I'm going to tell the little story. So one of the things I get to do is I get to go and with managed service providers and talk to their customers. And one of the things that we're doing a tabletop exercise. So tabletop exercise is where it's kind of like the fire drill that you would do, to evacuate a building. You want to simulate the situation. And we sat down at around a table and we said, all right, here's the type of incident. What's the first thing you're going to do? And so the customer goes, oh, I'm going to call my MSP partner. Of course, the person's sitting across the table. But we said, all right, great. What's their phone number? Oh yeah, and he pulls his laptop. No. It's your laptop is compromised. Your phone might be compromised. Do you have that contact information printed out and in a binder?
Oh my gosh, I never even thought of that.
And it's such a small little thing, but it can be an astronomical difference between being paralyzed and actually being proactive. And that's why doing those type of exercises, doing you learn things from doing those simulations. Again, the first time you evacuate a building isn't when it's on fire.
No.
You want to figure, oh, Dad, we have a choke point here. This door needs to be unlocked. All of those things you want to find. And the same kind of thing when you look at, and so heaven forbid that it happened in a real incident. and they would have basically been dead in the water and not even known how to react.
Oh my gosh. I never even thought about that. But what I really want is to kind of close out this table talk here around a call to action for Calgarians, for Canadians, especially the SMBs, what they can do today. They've listened to this, they've watched this. What is an action that they can do today to improve their cyber posture? And what resources, like from Acronis, from Expera, what can they do today?
I'd say the number one thing is really education for the end user, because as we mentioned, like I love to use the phrase, hackers don't hack systems, hackers hack people, right? And the biggest threat or biggest risk is actually people getting tricked to do stuff they're not supposed to. So having very comprehensive cyber awareness programs is absolutely key. And I think the second thing that business leaders must do is actually start working on an incident response plan, because it's shocking. Probably over 90% of companies don't have an incident response plan at all. And like our process for developing the incident response plan is we're going to start with a tabletop exercise, because we have a really good tabletop exercise that gets the conversation going, and we can identify the gaps, and from that tabletop we start developing the set of incident response plans, and that way they are infinitely more prepared than they were before when something bad happens.
Yeah, I think I would recommend, first of all, don't be paralyzed by fear. It is better to do something than to do nothing. I'm also a big proponent of what are called security frameworks. So there's the NIST cybersecurity framework, there's CIS controls. The nice thing about the cybersecurity framework from NIST is that it is something that a business person can understand. Right, it talks about what you should do. It doesn't necessarily go to the details of how to do it, but here are the things you should be thinking about. And it does that in a way that is kind of business process oriented. And that doesn't mean that you have to try to boil the ocean and fix everything overnight, but taking an honest, reflective look at what are we doing for security today and what are the gaps.
Stephen, Vince, I can't thank you enough for coming by. Like I said, we will be doing this again, I'm going to guess, in 6 months' time, when we hear what's coming out of the new LLMs and the new securities and the new verticals, because this is never going to get old. It's always going to be new and moving. But it's a powerful reminder that cyber protection is essential for every business. These guys are getting information any which way they can. They're walking around popping the locks and the doors, seeing who's open, who's ready. For more insights, however, I want to thank you guys, the audience, for sticking with us and learning. I hope you have your pens and paper out. So check out, we are going to do a quick rapid fire. You can check it out at WakeUpCalgary.ca. And coming up next is we've got Linda, Culinaire Magazine. She's going to show us a next best treat in Calgary.
So here we are at Mina's Brazilian Steakhouse, and we're celebrating your 10th anniversary. So tell us what happens. What do people expect when they come to Mina's? What are they going to find here?
We do a barbecue, Brazilian style. That one you get big chunk of meat, go around the table, and the people come here, they expect to have hospitality, Brazilian hospitality, hot one, like a Brazilian hot country. The buffet, open buffet, you can help yourself, and we have the people love chinchorro, pork belly.
Pork belly. I was going to say, you have to tell us, explain what everything is.
And the plantain, yes. Banana, né?
Plantain. Those big green bananas.
Yeah, the pips. After they mash it down, they love this stuff.
So tell us about the meats. There is a card, isn't there, that says all the meats on it here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Ask and we shall be given a card.
Yeah.
So people come and they order a radicchio. Yes.
The radicchio is the mine, the star of the restaurant.
The star of the restaurant, right. So they come and you have one for lunch and you have one with more meat at dinner time. So wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 meats at lunchtime. Yes,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
11, and then there's a salad bar. How many different salads are in the salad bar?
I never count, but I guess it's
A lot.
over 20.
Over 20 different salads.
Brazil is discovered or colonized by Portuguese people.
Yes.
When they went to Brazil back 500 years ago, 5 centuries ago, they take a lot of slaves from Africa to work in plantation, do whatever they want in Brazil. And the feijoada was developed, I don't know if it's right, but developed by slavery. Because the boss, the owner of the plantation, they like to eat the good part of the pork. They left for them the leftover, example, leftover.
The other bits of the pot.
And they
pig,
start to
yes.
put beans on that.
Ah.
And now it become to be the national dish.
And tell us about this little
Yeah.
triangle on the table. What does this do?
You know, when you go to Brazilian restaurant, because we have the barbecue everyone has, Argentina, US, Canada, whatever. But we have different style of the barbecue. We skew the meat in the big skew. And when you went to Brazilian restaurant, you have this signal, red and green, like the light in the street.
Like the traffic lights,
The
red
traffic
and
light,
green,
yes.
yes.
If you green, you can go ready, stop.
Ah.
If we go to, they always left the red color because the people want to restaurant, want to drink, talk, go to buffet, have time. When you turn this green, supposed to, okay, some barbecue come to
Like
say,
this?
Oh, like
this? Oh my goodness.
And they gonna cut. You have this guy here, you open them.
So we have to open this.
Yeah. You have here a knife. And they have this guy here to help you. And you put the table, and
Well, that looks amazing. And what do you call this cut of meat?
this is picanha.
Picanha. Wow.
Picanha is one piece of the one bull, maybe 300 or 400 kilo, okay, 200. They has two picanha, do 1.5 kilos each side. Have one picanha the left side, one picanha. It's the back. It's the back left. The back.
Yeah. The back of the cow.
Yeah, the back.
The
of
rump.
cow. The rump
Of the cow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have it
okay.
two. 1 kilo. The maximum 1.5 kilos each side. And the Brazilian people discovered this very nice because have a fat, very nice juice,
Thank you.
red meat. That's it. This is the most
This is the most,
famous.
the top one. And look, here's
Oh,
what is coming now, Jose?
This one is other part of the beef. This called alcatra in Portuguese.
So it looks beautiful,
Yeah.
and the way it's been grilled, it's all brown and deeply sort of charred on the outside, and the fat is melting, which is going to give it all that delicious flavor.
You know what's
isn't it?
happening? We use sea salt, and the meat is put direct the fire,
Yes.
and we don't pre-cook the meat. We cook it on time, and the beef always cannot be all done. Has to be flavor, juice, and you have to cut outside, and inside has to be juice.
And look at all this coming. So
Look, I have here the cheese bread. Cheese bread is made with the cassava flour, with cheese, egg, stuff like that. This is very popular in Brazil. And we have here the feijoada. Feijoada is black, like you say. We put the meat inside. Beans
on meat.
We have beef, pork, baked sausage, whatever. And we cook this long. You have to be, I would say, simmer
yes,
fire
simmering. Yes.
to to make the flavors get together, to incorporate the flavors of the meat in the beans, and the juice. The juice is very nice with rice. And the farofa. Farofa is the flour you have on top of the feijoada. It's made with cassava flour also. And it toast with meat, onions, garlic, stuff like that. And it make the taste crunch when you eat the feijoada. The farofa, some people say, oh, it's like sand in the beach. Okay, take the beach away, but it's crunch. But like with potatoes,
Yes.
fresh potatoes have to be crunched.
Yes. Yes.
This makes the crunch for the feijoada. That's the point.
Okay.
I invite everyone to taste Brazilian food once, like feijoada or cheese bread or picanha or whatever. I invite everyone to taste. You cannot end your life before the taste every kind of food. I love Italian food. Of course, I like Japanese food. And also Brazilian food. Mexican food is also good. Mexican or poutine in Canada is very good.
Of course, poutine.
You have to try. If you don't try, you don't know.
That's very true, and this looks a wonderful, wonderful spread. And there's 10 more meats to come, just for lunch, and another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more at night time, as well as the 11 for lunch.
Yeah.
That's a lot of food.
Oh.
Jose, she's back.
There's the pineapple talk.
With pineapple. Look how amazing.
Yeah.
This is beautifully juicy, and it's brown, and you can almost taste it without while it's still
That's
on
why
the
we lose to Brazilians like to roast everything.
Yeah, and that looks beautifully roasted, and look how juicy and moist it looks. Has it been coated in anything, or is it just pineapple?
It's cooked with sugar, cinnamon, and then we put a little bit of caramel as well.
Sugar, cinnamon, and
And
caramel, you
Yeah.
silver-tongued devil. That sounds fantastic.
That's make the flavor better.
And that's why it looks so juicy and
Exactly.
shiny on the outside. Let's see what it looks like on the inside.
Yeah.
Look at that. How beautiful. Shiny, glistening, dripping with juice. I can't wait to eat that. And it's just pineapple. How wonderful is that? This is very healthy food, isn't it?
It's help you to make digestion better. After you eat a lot meat, a lot stuff like grease stuff, pineapple is just to balance the gut because make you digest a little bit better. That's the idea. You start with this way, it's okay, it's good.
And I think you're going to need it because they just keep coming and coming. We should probably turn that to red, shouldn't we?
Yes, I guess.
And then they won't come anymore because otherwise they just keep coming.
That's the
and
idea.
coming
This is to say yes or no, but
Yeah.
when you stop, you're done, red, you say okay. But if you need, in future you can tune again.
You can have more.
Yes, if you say, I get rest now, I'm okay, I'm digest my food, I want to eat a little bit more,
You can come back for more.
come back this too.
And can they take more salad if they like?
Yes, it can
They
go
can
back
go
to
back
buffet,
again. It's not one time only.
You can have more cheese bread, have more feijoada, can do because it's open buffet. You do all you can eat from one price. That's it.
That's fantastic.
That's the
I
idea.
bet people go out like this, don't they? They have to waddle out of here.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much,
No,
Jose.
thank you for.
This is a fabulous restaurant.
thanks
Love
so
it
much.
and can't wait to get stuck into all this food.
Oh, okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank everyone. I hope everyone have a time in life to choose Brazilian barbecue.